In Northern Europe, Romanticism rises as an opposition to the previous age of enlightenment, characterized by the use of reason and objectivity in all aspects of reality. On the other hand, emotion, introspection, imagination are fundamental for the Romantics that emphasize everything that is spontaneous, irrational, and subjective. British Romanticism starts during the French Revolution and ends in 1837 with the beginning of the Victorian Age. There are two generations of Romantic English poets, beginning with William Wordsworth, the so-called worshipper of nature. The lyrical ballads, also known as the Manifesto of the English Romanticism, were written by Wordsworth in collaboration with another very important poet of this time, Samuel Taylor Coleridge. They decided together that Wordsworth would write about nature and ordinary life, his favorite themes, while Coleridge would focus on the supernatural and mysterious dimension, which was a recurrent topic in his works, like in the Ballad of the Ancient Mariner.
Italian Romanticism began in 1816 with an article written by the French Madame de Staël that invited Italians to open up to the new coming European Romantic currents. This provoked different reactions from Italian men of letters, but the biggest effect was the creation of a newspaper called Il Conciliatore, in which intellectuals wanted to spread new ideas and to promote civil progress in Italy. In fact, the main difference that we can highlight between the two countries is that while British Romanticism wanted to break all the canons of the preceding period, Italian Romanticism is almost a continuation of the Age of Enlightenment. The men of Il Conciliatore followed the criteria of always telling the truth, but they tried to bring innovation by utilizing a simpler language, since the newspaper addressed the uneducated middle class.
Speaking about the major themes discussed by English Romantics, nature was an important one. It was now seen as divine, a source of feeling and expression in which the poet could be comforted, look for peace and joy, learn to love, and act in a moral way. They concentrated also on other topics like the valorization of childhood as the happiest moment in a man's life, the cult of the exotic. Everything that was far away in space and time fascinated the Romantics, the role of the hero seen as an outcast and a rebel, the passion for everything that was dreadful, terrifying, picturesque, horrendous, and lastly, the interest for danger, disaster, and adventure.
The main exponents of English Romanticism, other than Wordsworth and Coleridge, are the poets George G. Byron, John Keats, and Percy B. Shelley, and the novelist Jane Austen. In Italy, we can find notorious poets like Giovanni Berchet, Pietro Borsieri, Carlo Porta, and as for the novelists, Ippolito Nievo and Alessandro Manzoni. Italian poetry's main focus was on the homeland and the concept of nation, in particular during the Napoleonic Age, whereas Manzoni brought significant changes to historical novels, being the first writer to compose one in Italian. The reason the Romantic movement affected the two countries so differently is England being way more developed and advanced. Let's not forget that it was going through the Industrial Revolution at that time, and Italy's lack of a bourgeois class that would spread progress in a still fragmented land, which explains Italy's mainly political tendencies opposed to England's more diverse and abstract topics.